Number 9, we're going to focus on the cosine ratios of angle x in this triangle and then also angle y. And I've got SOHCAHTOA written out there to remind us that the cosine is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse side. So let's first look at the cosine of x. The cosine of x, and we're going to use adjacent over hypotenuse. If this is x, the adjacent side is going to be right next to it, which is 13, and the hypotenuse is across from the right angle, so the hypotenuse here is 26. And so if we simplify, we could say that the cosine of x is 1/2, or of course if we wanted to call that 0.5 in terms of a decimal, we could. Okay, now if we find the cosine of the other angle, angle y, it's going to be different because even though we're using adjacent over hypotenuse, and I can write that down here, it's a different adjacent side because it's coming from a different angle. So angle y over here has an adjacent side of 13 times the square root of 3. The hypotenuse is the same. That doesn't change. That's 26. And when I simplify that, I've got 13 on the top and 26 on the bottom, so that ends up being 1 times the square root of 3 over 2. Don't really need the 1 out front, so I just call it square root of 3 over 2. And again, if I wanted to simplify that and put it in terms of a decimal, I got 0.866. And so I've got these two different cosine values, those cosine ratios from the different angles, came about them the same way using adjacent over hypotenuse, but they're different values because of the different angles.